let's talk about this man and what's going on after the most recent chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. But with that being said, if you're not caught up, obviously spoilers, so keep scrolling. Shout out to Eliano for the sponsored video today. He hit me up with a question in my DMs, but it was asking why didn't Akotsu go for the brain as far as Kenjaku was concerned. Well, we now know thanks to the most recent chapter that he does go for the brain, so I won't be able to answer that question obviously, but I still wanted to make something out of this video, so we're going to transform it into, do we think Kenjaku is actually dead? So let's talk about his final moments from chapter 249. And when these leaks first came out, the dialogue surrounding this moment was a bit hard to decipher because the translations are really rough when leaks are first coming out. But now we do have TCB's translations, and those are usually pretty trustworthy. So a bit of the confusion around when he was first adding the rule, to pass it over to Megami, aka Sukuna, for the merger. There was conversations about like the parent and succession and stuff, and so I wasn't sure what that meant, but now with TCB scans out, it does seem as if he's just referring to this whole process of the merger in general and passing it over to Sukuna to be the one to helm that. So I don't necessarily think there's any double speak there. And then Kenjaku just goes on to kind of deliver some last words saying, about his past 1,000 years and how Takuba was a good last opponent for him and how, it's in Akotsu's hands. Like, it's in your hands now, meaning the crew, to deal with this, right? So it seems as if he's like, yep, I'm gone. It's on y'all now. But I don't know if I buy it. He's just such a brilliant tactician that I don't know if he wouldn't have had contingencies in place. And I know he got caught off guard, right? That was the entire point of the plan, to catch him off guard because he is such, a genius. So, I mean, maybe that's all it took. We caught him off guard, no more plans in place. He's done. But knowing that he put in all of this work for literally hundreds of years, you would just think that it's at least possible he has contingencies, especially because we do not know how that body swap technique works. Now, obviously, there's stitches on the forehead. The brain has a freaking mouth. You put two and two together, it seems as if the brain is transplanted from one body to another. That's how he does it. But there's still so many question marks there. Like, is there a surgeon necessary for this? Like, is there a third party that Kenjaku has to bring in to transplant him? Or is he able to do it himself? Can that brain get up and walk on its own and jump in the new body? Or, since we're in the world and realm of curse techniques, is there something much simpler at play? Is it just involve a transfer of cursed energy and the person's brain becomes this thing? You know what I mean? Like, we are in the realm of soul-swapping body techniques, potentially, with Yuji. We're not going to get into that in this episode, but maybe it's something similar. Maybe it doesn't actually require, like, a physical brain hop. And if it doesn't, maybe he has contingency set up for his brain to appear or manifest in another body. I'm not saying that that's likely, but it at least isn't impossible. And just Kenjaku's entire demeanor, like he had a big smile on his face in the final moments the whole time. He seemed really at peace with this being the end for him, which is weird, being so close to this. Literally, again, something he spent hundreds of years orchestrating was mere moments away, really, in the grand scheme of things. And he's not frustrated that he couldn't just have made it a little bit longer to see the fruits of his labor. Maybe he's just chill like that, Maybe he's like, you got me. Peace. I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know. I'm not in either camp. Like, I'm not saying he's for sure coming back, nor am I saying he's certainly gone. I'm genuinely torn. That's why I want to hear y'all's thoughts in the comments about this, because I know a lot of people actually were upset that if he truly is gone, they're upset. They think that's a terrible ending for the character. I don't, for the record. So while I'm not sure on which side I'm leaning right now, either way I'll be fine. I think it's fine writing either way. I think both can serve the story. Honestly, I think that if he is gone, it's almost more interesting that Gege would kind of into character that way, like almost in kind of a subversion of normal expectations, right? But again, I'm not saying I want that to be the case. I would be very interested if we did see more from him. So I'm talking in circles now, but yeah, I want to know y'all's thoughts. Do you think he's for sure gone, or could we see him again?